thanks for joining us. Well, let's have a wee word about the game on Tuesday night against Dundee United. Disappointing. How did you see the game from your point of view?
I thought we actually started the game reasonably well, and then Peter's shown a bursty pace to get through the middle areas and stuck the goal away well. It was a testing period between that and half time, but we managed to see it out, regroup and then address a few things at half time. I thought the second half we didn't look as vulnerable to the counter attack. The problem being was that we didn't create enough chances in the final third, but there wasn't much in the game. Bitterly disappointed we've lost it, but it put an end to a decent run that we had, and we now have to focus our attention on the United game now. Yeah,
we'll get to that in just a little second. Final point on the Dundee United game, you mentioned, we looked a lot more solid the second half, but we didn't create much. Was that a combination of us not playing as well as we could have, or was it Dundee United did a good job of seeing out the game and spoiling the match to a certain degree as well?
United, I know Robbie more than most, and the one thing that he'll have done, the longer the game was going on, he would definitely be buying time here and there and making sure that his players were trying to take the sting out of the game. It becomes frustrating to then try and get any momentum into the game. As I say, we just on the night we just didn't test our goalkeeper enough, and if that was to be, it's a fair criticism, and something that we'll try and address tomorrow night.
Some positives from the game though, and the fact that Faisal back too, he made his return to the first team. He got 25 minutes or so at the end. Matty Todd coming on as well. Those must be pleasing signs for you.
No, the pleasing. Again, it's pleasing because it brings competition to places. Faces had a wee time out there with a calf injury. Matty Todd's come on and done well for the time that he got in the park, but he's there on merit. He works his socks off in training day in day out, and I've said since coming into the job and been given an opportunity to give younger players the platform to go out and play, and he deserved that opportunity.
Let's turn to Friday night then, and Ayr United are the visitors to East End Park. They've been on a shaky run of late, so I guess it's both of us are looking to grab all 3 points, because it's looking like it's going to be tight between now and the end of the season for those playoffs. Yeah,
and obviously Inverness have won their last 2 games, and they've pulled away from ourselves in there, but we've got to focus on Ayr United. They're directly above us, and we went down to Somerset Park a few months ago and managed to come away with a 1-0 victory in hard circumstances. We're up against Ayr, who tested us to the max in the first half on the day. We stood up to it, and we'll have to make sure that we stand up to them tomorrow night.
There's loads of former Dunfermline players at Ayr United. Obviously, it's being a player yourself, going back to another team, you've got a point to prove sometimes. We'll need to be wary of guys like Michael Moffat and Andy Geoghegan.
Yeah, I think a lot of their success has been built on momentum themselves, having won promotion the year previous. They've, I think the first half of the season, they had a great start to the season and kicked on to the turn of the year, and they've just struggled a little bit to put a run of results together recently, which will make them a dangerous opponent tomorrow night. But we'll focus on ourselves, on what we're trying to bring to the table, and we know we've got to be more creative in the final third. The one thing we do know is that if Moffat and Shankland are allowed to play, they've caused not just ourselves problems this season, they've caused every team in the league, so we'll very much make sure we try and do a job on them.
It's a Friday night fixture, not something we have very often. Obviously going forward with this new TV deal, we'll have them a wee bit more next season. Is it something that you're a fan of, Stevie, the Friday night football?
Well, it's different, having a game on the Friday night from preparing for a Saturday game. Obviously Tuesday nights made it a little bit more difficult in terms of the preparation that we can give ourselves, but any game that's shown on television for our league is great. It's recognition for players at this level as well, and I'm sure the boys will be looking forward to going and putting a good performance on.
Finally, Stevie, what's the injury latest? What's the situation there?
No, thankfully we've not picked up anything from Tuesday night, so the boys are all fit and ready to go again. A couple of longer term ones have got another week under their belt. They're still not ready to join in with the group in training yet, but they've had a positive couple of weeks as well.